campaign ahead?
For the 2021 season, I think sky's the limit, and I think everything is in front of us here. So we're just going to take the opportunity to continue to be humble workers, show respect and appreciation, grind our tails off, and really kind of surprise a lot of people, but do what we know we can do.
Thank you, Daevion. We'll have Emma, Jessica, and Peyton have microphones, and we'll take your questions. We'll start right down here in front on our left, Daevion, with Bob Holt.
Awesome.
Hey, Daevion. Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. How tough was last season, on the field when you played a very tough schedule, weren't able to get a win, and then with all the COVID issues off the field, guys opting out, and I know a lot of guys had to miss games for contact tracing or different reasons. Just how tough was all that, and how do you feel like you guys are going to be able to bounce back this season?
Right. I think everybody went through their difficulties as far as college sports when it came to COVID. Guys being, contact trace, sitting out. So as far as that, there's no excuse for that. You just got to make adjustments and roll with the game plan. So, but this year coming into this new season, there's a new standard, there's a new culture here, and we're building a lot upon, just being tougher, being tough guys, and working on staying together and being about us. Being selfless and humble workers, like I said, and I think that'll show a lot on the field coming this year. So I think that's kind of the difference here.
Okay, we'll go in the center section along the right aisle.
Jordan Hill with Opelika Auburn News. I want to ask you about Derek Mason. What was your relationship like with him, and what do you think the Auburn players can sort of expect from Coach Mason?
My relationship with Coach Derek Mason was awesome. He recruited me pretty heavy, and I loved the guy. He was a fair guy, a great dude, very enthusiastic, and loved the game. So I think Auburn got a great deal with that, and he'll just go in there and coach guys up real hard and get the best out of them. So that's great for them.
Okay, we've got one right here in the middle section, right in front of us, David.
Yep.
Hey, Daevion, Robbie Weinstein, 24/7. For you, is there anything different playing DT, moving into a new scheme? And then also, what have you learned so far from an OK Brechterfield?
As far as the scheme, I kind of have the same role, just disrupt. I might play a gap out, wider than I used to. So that'll be fun to enable a little more pass rush ability. But as far as Coach Anoki Brechterfield, he's one of the smartest guys I know. I think he could be a defensive coordinator, honestly, somewhere. He knows everything about the game, and as far as his history, he's coached a lot of winners and a lot of winning programs. And being one of my, people that I look up to in the professional league, Aaron Donald, he coached him. So, that's obviously one of the greatest players to play that position, and I think that's pretty cool. So he brings a lot to the table as far as technique and just knowing the game pre-snap. So I'm just honored to get to work with him.
Okay, we'll go over here on the right side of the middle section.
Hi, Aria Gerson with the Tennessean. Clark Lee mentioned that, this is team one, and he's basically trying to kind of start over within the program. So as somebody who's been in the program for a couple years, how does it feel to kind of be, kind of starting all the way, from the bottom again?
As far as starting from the bottom, it's a humbling experience, but it's definitely one that was needed. So I take it with a grain of salt, and I come in every day, and I just look at the new opportunity that's able to be there for us to grow, and definitely have learned to make it about the whole team and the program and the guys that come after me. So just becoming that humble worker and taking that role on head on, it's definitely a humbling experience, but it's working. And when you see the work just starting to give results, it only makes you want to go harder. So it's a great thing that we started over.
Okay, we'll go back down here in front, Bob.
Clark Lee played at Vanderbilt, not that long ago, I guess, 20 years, but that's not like it was 100 years ago or something. What sense do you get about what being the Vanderbilt coach means to him, and what does it mean to you guys to be coached by a guy who was in your shoes, not that long ago?
Right. In an interview that I watched even before I met him, he said clear as day that he's been waiting 16 years in his coaching career to coach here because he played here, and that this was his university. So he takes a lot of pride in the Vanderbilt community and being a Nashville guy. And I think that shows in his work, that he shows up every day and just grinds and gives us his best and expects nothing less from us. So that building on us it's reflected, and we come in every day and we're able to have an atmosphere that just gives us resources to work as hard as we can.
Daevion, we'll go back over on the right-hand side alongside the wall.
What's telling you there's a new standard, new culture to the program? And also, I know you guys went through spring where you didn't have your jersey numbers. Have you earned yours now?
I do. I got my number back. It's mine.
So what were the reasons that you were able to do that?
That whole ordeal started a long time ago, like 7 months ago, and basically we were stripped of logos, stripped of numbers. We had a black T-shirt, coming into 7 months of workouts, and it's just coming down to like I got a question about restarting. That's just what had to happen, and we were told that we were restarting. We were stripping it all by our head man, Coach Lee. He wanted a new culture, a new feel for us. He wanted us to not just slap logos on something and make it a T-shirt or something like that, or have a slogan, but he wanted us to live it. He wanted us to make what we were saying committable and actionable. So just having those things made it way more important. It was a lot more than just talking it or putting it in an Instagram caption. It was like, it's who we are now. And I couldn't thank him more for that, because it's made me a lot better player, a lot better man, and just learning what it means to take action and responsibility and being real selfless and giving yourself to a team. So, that's kind of what it looks like to earn your number, somebody who's, extrinsic and cares for the team, puts himself out there, brings guys along as himself, starts moving forward in the program. So that's how you earn your number. And it takes a long time, but once you get it, you have a lot of respect and appreciation for the 7 months or how many ever months it took for you to get that number. You have a lot of respect for something as little as a number. Then, just think about how that correlates into the game of football or life.
Okay, Daevion, we'll go to the center section along the right aisle.
Was it hard to be able to recognize teammates with that and to be able to practice with those, not having logos and numbers and stuff? I mean, just from an on-field perspective, I get all the reasons why to do something like that, but was it complicated for you to know, like, hey, who do you even go after and who do you tackle and all those things?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I think the O-line and quarterbacks hated it the whole spring because they couldn't, ID anybody. So, I mean, we were having fun with it. We were kicking their tails, but they were just trying to figure out who was who. But at the end of the day, we kind of knew who everybody was. You had no number, but you had your last name on the back of the jersey. But, you knew somebody's face, so, and it's football, so, see ball, get ball.
Other questions? Raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. While we wait, Daevion, you talked about a new coaching staff coming in as a leader on the team. What was important and how did the team take to Coach Lee and some of the new philosophies? You mentioned the numbers, but how did you feel like the team responded with Coach Lee's leadership?
In our program now, in order to thrive and in order to be the player that you want to be, you just have to immerse yourself completely. So our guys are just diving in head first, no questions asked, and I think they're getting the results that they want and need, and they're seeing a lot of the things that, the philosophy is coming into fruition, and it's just coming along quite well. And when you have guys that are just willing to dive in head first, you're going to have a good team, and you're going to have a good culture there. So the standard continues to be pushed forward, and we just have guys coming along and hopping on board, so that's always good.
Okay, we'll go back up here in the front here to Bob.
Do you just flush last season, or are there lessons to be learned from that? How do you approach that, I guess, mentally? And then did you know that your coach's old helmet there? I guess he's had it in his bookshelf and office and stuff. I don't know what you think of it. Does it look kind of archaic, or what do you think of that?
It's pretty ancient when you think about it. I just saw him walk in, and also his head is huge. Obviously, his helmet is ginormous. But as far as flushing the season, that's what you got to do. It's in the past. We've learned what we've learned. We know what we had to fix, and we're working on fixing it. So we're not dwelling on anything that happened before. This is just the first team moving forward right now.
We have one right here in the middle of the center section.
Hey, Daevion, from the spring, we've talked about the offensive lineman who opted out last fall. Did you notice, how big of a difference did you notice just going against more experienced, bigger guys and, on the offensive line, like over the course of spring ball?
Guys are just coming along. They're working hard. So as far as experience, there's experience to be gained, and there's experience on our offensive line. So I know that they get out there and they work their tails off. So I know that I'll be ready because of them, and they'll be ready because of me.
Okay, Daevion, thank you for your time. Good luck this season.
Thank you.